if you are a neurodivergent entrepreneur or professional, whether that's ADHD, ADHD, OCD, or you don't resonate with any of these labels, but you know your brain works differently than most people, and you've ever felt overwhelmed because you want to build your business, but you've been putting off the same task for months or even years because whenever it's time to actually do the work, you find yourself making excuses or feeling too tired to make any real progress, then you're going to want to stay until the end of this video because I'm going to break down the most important step you're going to need to take in order to resolve this. Welcome back to the Neurodivergent Super Brain Series, brought to you by the 25-Hour Day. My name is Colin Response. I'm an internationally award-winning performing artist, entrepreneur, and global ambassador for the #1 luxury brand in the world. But most importantly, I did all of this with what most people call ADHD and obsessive compulsive disorder. I disagreed. And so I built a business that's helped out over 150 neurodiverse entrepreneurs and professionals rewire their brains from feeling overwhelmed by lack of time and energy to becoming masters at executing their ideas profitably and efficiently so that they can add another $10,000 to $20,000 a month to their income while cutting their working hours in half. Ultimately, so that they can have the freedom to enjoy their everyday life in the process. And today, I am blessed to be joined by our guest, Jeremy. Now, Jeremy is a neurodivergent entrepreneur whose mission is to radically transform the lives of sales professionals through personal development. One of Jeremy's first clients was Tony Robbins' coaching certification company, whose sales team he coached across a period of over 9 months to their best sales numbers ever. And today, I'm going to show him why he is stuck so that he can be empowered to decide whether he wants to remove these barriers from his life today or not. And like usual, I'm going to do it while walking backwards. So without further ado, let us bring on our wonderful guest, Jeremy. How are you doing?
Hey, Colin. Glad to be here. And that intro was killer. And as you were reading it, I was like, "Holy fuck, that's exactly what my problem is." So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm glad we were able to connect.
Amazing. Well, I have your submission up. So we're just going to start by having you read it aloud.
I know there's action I need to be taking in my business to get it to where I want it to be. But whenever the thought comes up of me needing to take action, I procrastinate, I make excuses, I feel tired, and I don't do anything about it. I put off things, I'm putting off things I need to do for 2 to 3 months now, and it's because I feel overwhelmed whenever I try to do it, and there's a technical difficulty or I have a roadblock that I can't get past it.
The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to break down this into a series of components so that we can clearly identify what actually needs to be addressed. We have the action you know you need to be taking in your business to where it is that you want to be. This section, we have the obstacles. So the first place we need to start is, what is the action you need to be taking in your business?
I need to film ads. I have 2 different offers, basically. I need to film ads for, and I need to watch a few Loom videos and shoot the ads and send them off to the editors. I also need to shoot content as well for my editing, my social media team.
More importantly than this question, where is it that you want to be?
I want to be making $100,000 a month in my business. And I want to do that for 3 to 4 months consecutively. That's a minimum. I would like to, the best month I've ever had is 52K. So really 50 to 100K is the minimum. I would like 50K to be my minimum baseline, but I'm right at around 20 to 30K a month right now. But ultimately I want to get to that 100 to 250K month mark. And I want to do that in the next 6 months. And then I want to move to Colorado.
So first phase is 100K, and then second phase is the 250K.
Yeah.
Simply put, to get here, I want to first do this.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we're crystal clear on where we want to be, which brings relevance to the actions that you need to be taking. Now, you need to film ads for your 2 offers, watch the Looms associated with them, and shoot content for social media. Now, without getting into the nitty gritty of why those things may or may not be important, determine on what you want to accomplish, what we're going to be diving into specifically is the obstacles you are facing as you attempt to do these things. So we're going to move down to the section around obstacles. Whenever the thought comes up of me needing to take action, procrastinate, make excuses, feel tired, don't do anything about it, and I put things off. So now that we have clarity on where it is that we want to be, we know the things we are looking to do, we have the obstacles that are interfering with our ability to do that. The first step we need to take is we need to reframe these into the affirmative so that we can have clarity on what the actual solutions to the obstacles are. So I'll first start by asking you, whenever the thought comes up of you needing to take action, what do you want to feel instead of feeling like you are going to procrastinate?
Excited to take it off my to-do list. I feel like the taking it off my to-do list is almost not an affirmative. Like just get it done, get it over with is not necessarily an affirmative. So I'm thinking excitement to get it done. I don't know. I definitely want your feedback on that. If take it off the to-do list is a positive thing or if it's a negative.
Nailed it, Jeremy. To take it off my to-do list has the subtext of relief.
Yes. That's done. I don't have to worry about this anymore.
Exactly. So now I want to ask you, what would be the polarity of needing to worry about something?
The polarity of needing to worry about something. So you're saying the opposite of it is, it's I don't need to worry about it. But that doesn't sound very affirmative. It's done. It's completed. It's finished. So, like feeling satisfied of like being able to like seeing a complete finished product, like like the feeling of satisfaction you feel after you mow your lawn, as an example. Like to be able to look back at your lawn and being able to say, like feeling that sense of accomplishment. That's probably it, a sense of accomplishment.
Beautiful. Now we're moving into the area where we're starting to see what the polarity of this really is. We went from excited to take things off my to-do list to actually being satisfied, seeing the finished product, looking back with accomplishment.
Can you just put sense of accomplishment? Yeah, because that would resonate with me more. Thank you.
So, question for you. When you mentioned that sense of accomplishment resonated more with you,
Yeah.
was it because of that statement, sense of accomplishment, or was it because it didn't reference looking back?
I think it was more about the sense of accomplishment. It's not necessarily about not looking back. It's just being able to recognize that you did something and you did something well and you kept your promise to yourself and to others. My ads guy, he's been hounding me, calling me, like, when are you going to get this done? And I keep putting it off.
So, excited.
Relieved.
What is the polarity of being relieved? Because remember, to be relieved supposes that there's something to be relieved of.
Hmm. I'm just going to ramble here for a quick minute, but I think one of the words I've also used is have to versus get to. So in terms of the relief, this is a task that I am being forced to do versus this is a task that I get to do. Because, hey, you chose this life to be a business owner and an entrepreneur. You don't have to do this. You can go back and go get another sales job and have a boss and all those things if you want, but you chose this life.
This is really cool because I am certain there are many people watching this who heard the same sentiment of, I don't have to, I get to. And there are benefits to that reframe, but I want to look at it a little bit more specifically to see what's really living inside of I have to instead of simply covering it up with I get to.
Okay.
Why does it feel like you have to?
So it feels like I have to because if I don't, I'm going to run out of money. I don't have predictable income coming in.
So we look at this. even without going a step further than this is simple enough. If I don't, I will run out of money. So
Okay.
if I do,
I will get money, or I'll bring in more money. Yeah. If I do this, I'll get to move to Colorado sooner. I'll be a better, more attractive mate.
okay. So the difference between feeling excited because I'll be able to bring in more money, move to Colorado, and be a more attractive mate. Slightly different than simply I get to.
Yeah, for sure. And I almost want to say like satisfied, like seeing the fruits of my labor, seeing the results. Yeah.
Now we're going to take labor. We're going to look at what is a polarity of labor.
Um, First thought that came to my head was hobby, but that's not it. Passion, doing what I love to do, seeing my clients' results. I'm chuckling in my head because I was also thinking that if I don't do this, I'm going to have to sell my Rolex. So like the polarity is like being able to keep my Rolex, be able to enjoy, what I've worked hard for.
Now, having to get rid of things that you care about, the polarity of that would be being able to enjoy things you care about.
Yeah.
So we've consolidated quite a sum of what procrastinate really means to you on a deeper level. I want to now dive into some of these other statements so we can find the polarity of those. There may be some elements we've addressed in here because they cross over. However, we want to make sure that we identify the things that do not cross over. So whenever the thought comes up of you needing to take action, you make excuses. So what is the polarity of making excuses?
Do it anyway. It needs to get done. You will feel a sense of relief once it's done.
I'm seeing a motif that you might not be noticing. Correct me if this is not correct. You are making excuses not to do it. So one way we could look at the polarity being to do it anyways, but really that's not the polarity. That's simply not making excuses not to do it.
Okay.
What would be the polarity of making excuses not to do it?
Finding reasons to do it.
Bingo.
You just gave me a little dopamine hit when you when you make those little affirmative bingo comments and stuff. It's funny.
If we think about some of the things we addressed in this section, you'll remember I don't have to, I get to. Not making excuses not to do it. I'm doing it anyway. There is a motif and narrative of pushing through things you do not enjoy rather than a motif of excitement and reasons. Even if you use the word excuses, you could have even said make excuses to do it.
I think I just had a little bit of a breakthrough, possibly, where I was thinking that I love to do things I'm good at. So the reason why I'm probably not doing this is because I'm not good at it. And so the polarity of it is I can be good at anything I set my mind to. I can be good at it with enough practice. I can, it's not a matter of being, it's of good enough. It's a matter of just like getting, the more you do it, the better you'll get, the easier it'll get, the more you'll enjoy it.
Now we're starting to open up that space in your neurology. You notice how, as you were locked into the making excuses not to do it, the procrastination, and trying to figure out how to not do that, all your brain can do is think about that. As much as it may be thinking, how do I not do that? It would be just as if I told you to stop thinking about the pink elephant that you're thinking about right now. Stop. I don't want you to think about the pink elephant, Jeremy. Stop
Right.
thinking about it. Also, whoever's watching this, you also stop thinking about the pink elephant. But for some reason, here you are, still thinking about the pink elephant up until I tell you to describe to me what the green elephant looks like. The moment you said to yourself, finding reasons to do it, you open up a space in your mind that said, well, what are the things I find reasons to do?
Hmm.
Once you opened up that doorway, you opened up the doorway to, well, the things I find reasons to do are the things that I enjoy, which opened up the doorway to, well, what are the things that I enjoy? Oh, I enjoy things that I'm good at. Oh, which opened up the door. How can I become good at these things so that I enjoy them, so that I find reasons to do them, so that I'm excited by the prospect of them bringing me in more money, moving to Colorado sooner, becoming a more attractive mate, becoming satisfied by what you've done, and looking back with a sense of accomplishment. All of those things are impossible to think about if we are under this umbrella over here, because our entire brain, all of our neurology is revolving in an ecosystem of the thing that we do not want. So now that we get over here, I feel like we're going to start to see these flip over a lot faster because it started to come to your brain. The doorway is now open to find and see the polarity of these things. So let's dive into it. What is the polarity of feeling tired of the things that you need to do?
I would say excited. I have energy. Energy comes from inspiration. So I feel inspired.
Beautiful. Right here. We see it. If you were to pull up a thesaurus and you were to type in the word excited, the words that are going to come up are inspired, energetic. All of these associative emotions live in the same ecosystem. The moment we go over there, we then have access to all of these things. And what's most important isn't just, okay, cool, now we're saying positive things. That's great. No, why it's important is that the gateway to these emotions are the gateway to emotions that allow us to be in a more enjoyable state of being.
Yeah.
And they are emotions we have experienced and we are familiar with. Our brain understands what the emotion is. The roadblock is your brain does not know to access these emotions in the conditions that we have listed here. In your endeavor to do those things, it is only familiar with engaging in this ecosystem. So it's never looking for ways for this to be exciting, for this to be energetic. It's not looking for ways that would inspire you. And I can probably tell you right now, without even seeing the ads you need to shoot, there's nothing about those ads that feels inspiring to you. But I can also tell you that it wouldn't be impossible for those ads to be inspiring to you. And I mean that in the nature of how they are actually even created,
Mm-hmm.
like the content, how you're showing up to it, what exactly that ad even is, could be done in such a manner that it is persuasive, it converts, it's professional, and it is inspiring to you.
Right.
It's possible, but without that element, you are far more likely to wind up over here.
Right. That state management. Yeah. Yeah.
So I love this. And let's go to here. I don't do anything about it.
Um, I look forward to doing it.
Ooh. See, this is how I know because the answers start to come faster, which shows that, oh, brain's over here now. Oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. The polarity of putting things off.
Ahead of it, like doing doing more than I need to do, like just pouring out the abundance, just like putting out more content and more videos and being more creative and going, being in flow and just staying in that flow state.
So, the one thing you said at the beginning that I want to ask you if it's resonant with you, because it sounded like you were going there. So, I want to know if this is resonant with you.
Okay.
You said instead of putting things off,
I think I said being proactive, like getting ahead, like being ahead of the game.
there we go. This
Yeah.
is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Like if instead of, say having my video editor say, hey, we've ran out of deal, like I'm pumping out more content. I'm like, hey, this would be good. This would be good. Let's do this. And I'm operating in that flow state.
You see a clear through line between being proactive and being excited and being inspired. See the disconnect between being proactive with things you have to do
Right.
or things you're finding excuses not to do and being proactive. They don't connect. So it's no surprise that you feel this disconnect. It's not, oh my goodness, what's wrong with me? I'm feeling this disconnect. There is an inherent disconnect. The solution is actually the reverse. It's actually looking at, well, what is the disconnect and resolving the reason for the disconnect rather than trying to ignore the disconnect. Because even if you try to ignore it, it's still there, right?
Right.
So as we look into this area, proactive, operating in a full flow state, doing more than I need to do, being more creative, abundance. Now, a polarity that you experience when you feel overwhelmed by a technical difficulty or roadblock.
Well, let me just start from the point of feeling overwhelmed. The polarity of being overwhelmed. For some reason, my mind just got out of that state there for a second. So it's easy. It's the first thought that comes to my mind. I mean, it's not like I'm lifting heavy weights or getting shot at. I'm sitting in front of a freaking camera, shooting film. It's not shooting. It's I'm just sitting in a chair, talking to a camera. I'm not even talking to a person. I can't get rejected by the camera. It's easy.
Okay. What is the polarity of getting rejected?
Um, being accepted. But I feel like that's not really like a very deep, that's just a very surface level answer. Being appreciated, being respected, being trusted.
So a very easy way to get to this is if we go to rejected and we think, what does it mean to be rejected to you specifically?
Um, Not good enough.
Anything else, or is that
Not
sum that
seeing
up?
the value, not a priority. Maybe they don't trust me.
Now, the first thing that came out of your mouth with a high degree of resolve was this: not good enough. And I wanted to ask this question because when we talked about, okay, well, it's easy, it's not like this is happening, which
Yeah.
obviously signals, okay, well, there's something there. So if being rejected is not good enough, and being not good enough is the reason why one would not do anything because we enjoy things that we're good at,
Right.
you see how these things are tying together?
Yeah.
Even though we may not see it on the surface, we look at the opposite of not being good enough. What's the opposite of that?
More than enough. I'm awesome. I'm awesome at what I do. My clients get great results. My clients love me. This is my purpose, my life's mission.
See how this changes the manner in which you will approach the things you're given the opportunity to engage with. What I believe is super valuable for the folks watching this to think about is the expanded awareness that has allowed Jeremy to realize, well, here I am thinking I'm just procrastinating. I'm feeling tired. All of these things are the reason why it's not happening. And for him to realize the real reality, this is when you can actually take intelligent action because Jeremy can now ask the question, when I look at the things in my life, what actually inspires me? So I can list those things down and then look at my social media content and say, so how can I be creative about finding a way to integrate these elements into the content that I create so that I can enjoy it and I can continue to get better at doing it? All of these solutions are easier to solve than things Jeremy has already solved in his business. The challenge obviously isn't that the thing is unsolvable. And for all of you who are watching this, the challenge is not you. The reality is, if you are facing things like procrastination, analysis paralysis, perfectionism, you're feeling overwhelmed by a lack of time, a lack of energy, you are not the problem. The reality is you just haven't learned how to leverage the way that the neurodiverse brain naturally works. When you do, you will notice things will naturally start to unlock for you, like they did for Jeremy. You will start to see all of the answers you are looking for start to present themselves to you on a silver platter. All of the resistance that you are facing will dissolve because you no longer have to try to force your brain into linear ways of thinking. But that's only possible if you release this idea that you need to be stuck. If you are watching this and you want to relieve yourself of that analysis paralysis, of that perfectionism, procrastination, this feeling of being overwhelmed by lack of time and energy, and you want to be able to add an extra 10, an extra 20 or more $1,000 to your monthly income while cutting your working hours in half, click the link that is beneath this video, because there are people who are doing exactly what you want to be doing while they're spending half the amount of time and half the amount of energy than you are right now. And it is possible for you to click the link underneath this video or don't. The choice is yours. Until next time, a massive thank you to our guest, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. It was great to feel that shift of, like you said, from this side to this side of the brain was very powerful, and I appreciate you doing that.